Look at it.
Yeah.
It's more than enough. This enough serving.
Yeah.
Look at this half, quarter.
Yeah.
That's more than enough.
Yeah.
This week on your most loved show, I go trekking deep in the Aberdare Ranges. I'm still following royalty. I get to see where Queen Elizabeth had her first breakfast as queen.
The late Queen Elizabeth came here.
Yeah.
She had breakfast, and then it got the second name, Queenscape.
Also, just because Ali have breakfast, I ikaitwa Queenscape.
Yeah.
I get to experience the longest, tallest, and greatest waterfall in East Africa and the second longest in Africa.
For fast relief of strong pain, like headache, toothache, and muscle pain. And I am finally released from pain and ready to be there for those who need me. Try Panadol Extra for fast and effective relief from strong pain.
Hey! Aha!
KFC on a Monday, nice catch.
Hey! I can't wait for payday.
Yeah.
You.
Make the day taste better with a new Streetwise Pasua for only 490 shillings.
Monday.
As a student, you can start building professional networks early by attending corporate functions related to your career path.
At Park University, we provide holistic training to our students by integrating theoretical knowledge with the requisite practical skills through online and in-person teaching mode. Join us today. Park University, where leaders are made.
Most bankable host Brian Aselli.
And we bring you the Morning Fix. Shimano is in the building as promised.
Yes.
Every day is a different discussion on something you care about.
And we want to hear from you. That's why we want to hear your say.
So we've got star-studded guests, the people you want to hear from, the people you want to connect with, and
all the celebrities will be in studio. We'd like you to pick up that phone and have a chat with them.
Without that project, I would not have done anything else that I've done before, because it was kind of like...
Then, yeah, when I was coming to Kenya now on my route of, wanting to make music.
But Friday, guys.
Friday is where we have all the fun. There is mad fun with
Aseli, DJ E, good vibes, great conversation, artists from all over the continent and more. So keep it 96.3
Nation FM.
Hi, my name is Helen Shikanda. I'm a health and science reporter from the Nation Media Group. I was one of the recipients of the June L. Beigler Prize for Cancer Journalism that is given annually by the American Association for Cancer Research. And I was also the first journalist from an African-based media house to get this award. The story that gave me this award is a sad story and fulfilling at the same time. Basically, the story is about a new cancer drug whose clinical trials were being done in Aga Khan University Hospital. And he was a Ugandan and he had traveled to different places and finally came to Kenya where the clinical trials were happening at the Aga Khan University Hospital. So narrating that story, breaking it down in simpler ways, speaking to the scientist who was working on the clinical trial made me get the award that I got from ASR. My experience covering that story, basically it was a very complex scientific story and I had to read a lot. And even before just the reading, just getting access to information from the patient. After the story went up, of course, it was something momentous for Africa, the first ever clinical trial for that specific drug. And the goal was to get as many people who have that gene. It's called the KRAS gene, which is a bit complex at this point to talk about it, but to get as many people to be part of the clinical trials so that we can get the drug to be used for cancer patients in Africa. After the story went up, so many people reached out, so many people showed up for the clinical trials. So unfortunately, few people were selected to be part of the clinical trial, but generally, at least many people showed up and were willing to take part in the clinical trial.
This is NTV.
Good afternoon to you from wherever you're joining us. Welcome to NTV at 1 on this 8th day of December 2024. My name is Helen Aura and I'll be taking you through the news making headlines locally and internationally. Welcome to the broadcast. Members of the National Assembly now say they will amend the National Government Constituency Development Fund Act to meet the legal threshold after the High Court declared the kitty unconstitutional. Legislators say the fund is too critical to let go of as it supports education, infrastructure and health programs in constituencies. Here is the member of Mbeere North, Geoffrey Ruku, defending the fund.
Kwa sasa CDF is an act of parliament. Na koti zetu za Kenya zimesema hiyo act of parliament, National Government Constituency Development Fund Act, is unconstitutional. That is what I could say. Na juu sisi ndio tunatengeneza katiba, sisi ndio tunatengeneza sheria, tunaenda kuitengeneza vizuri kupitia katiba, sio kupitia act of parliament kwa sasa, ili watoto wa Mbeere, watoto wa Kenya waweze kupata mazingira mzuri ya kusomea. In this constituency, tuko na madarasa ambayo ni ya matope. Ruangole Primary School, nimeenda huko nikapomoa yote, ili tujenge madarasa ambayo ni sawa sawa.
The government now says the demand for houses under its affordable housing program outweighs the supply amid public outcry among Kenyans rejecting the project and monthly housing levy deductions. Land Public Works, Housing and Urban Development Cabinet Secretary Alice Wahome says only slightly over 120,000 units are ready against a demand nearly 4 times that. The project is the government's initiative to address housing shortage in the country.
We have 124,000 houses tumejenga. Na usikilize poronjo kwa orodha yetu ya wale wangetaka manyumba. Niko na request intention that wangetaka kuwa considered. Tuko na 550,000 applications. Hello? Wewe unasikia huko story nyumba nini? Register yangu sasa. Wale wamepeana notice na intention wawe part of the project kununua 550,000 Kenyans. Na niko na only 124,000 today. Zile zinaendelea.
The government has been asked to exempt donations and charities to children homes and orphanage facilities in Kenya from taxation in a bid to support their services to orphans and vulnerable children. This comes amid stakeholders' alarm over the rise in cases of offences against minors, as Ruth Sarmoiche now tells us.
Speaking during the celebration of 20 years since the establishment of Baba Nyumbani Children's Home in Kitale, stakeholders in the child welfare sector expressed concern over heavy taxation and its effects on their operations.
Mtoto tukimchukua tunampeleka through primary education, secondary education, university or college. Na wakiwa hapa tunawaprovide kila kitu. So because of high cost of living, also pia sisi imetu affect.
They called on the government to exempt taxation on children's home to enable them care better for vulnerable children.
Serikali iwe na sheria za kuwa shield kutoka kwa heavy taxation mahali wananunua vitu wakitumia kwa hii home, zile taxes siondolewe.
This comes as stakeholders in the social services indicate a growing number of parents abandoning their responsibilities, leaving their children to be placed in children's home. Offences against minors are also on the rise.
There are still far too many children and young people in our community and beyond who lack the love, support, and opportunity that every child, youth, and family deserves.
Not been abused by people who are very close to them at the home, and because we do not have facilities to take good care of them, they'll go to the police, and then they are forced to go back to the same homes. I would like us to have that kind of partnership, that if we get such a children, we can find a way of accommodating them here. Then we see how we can partner in terms of just providing a secure environment.
Parents are urged to take an active role in safeguarding their children's well-being to prevent potential risks. Ruth Sarmoiche, NTV.
A sharp division has emerged between border operators in Embu County over a planned summit slated for January. At the center of this controversy is some 9.3 million shillings raised to facilitate the organization of the summit. The division comes days after the registration of their patron, and now operators from Kirimari Ward are now demanding that the money be shared amongst themselves, while another section from 19 other wards still want to carry on with a planned summit. A meeting convened on Thursday between Kirimari Ward operators and Governor Cecily Mbarire did not yield any result after they insisted on being given their rightful share.
Kama viongozi tumekubaliana ya kwamba wangawiwe, na tunawaomba pia watu wa Kirimari ya kwamba hata kama wanaomba wangawiwe, kama kuna mmoja wao ama kuna wale wanataka tuendelee na mpango wetu wa summit, wasiende hiyo njia ya kugawiwa pesa.
Sisi kama viongozi tumeona ni inaweza, lakini kama hiyo pesa lazima igawe, itakuwa na process ambayo itatumika.
Now, a family in Kirinyaga County has begun their festive season on a high with their celebration of their matriarch's achievement of 117 years. Margaret Kagondu is still full of strength and perfect in senses, living to see her second generation of grandchildren. Lois Wangoi with more.
Margaret Kagondu Kago can still shake a leg at 117 years old. Her dance partner on this day is her priest, who leads her community in marking her many years here below. It is a huge milestone for this mother, grandmother, and now second-generation great-grandmother. In her local dialect, she holds the rare and coveted title of Maito. As she settles in church for her Golden Age celebratory mass, her ear-piercing style reveals her generation, complementing her faith fair skin with few wrinkles for her decades lived.
Najua siri ya kuwekwa hii miaka yote, kitu ya kwanza ni upendo na umoja. Mama yetu anapenda watu. Sio uwe uko na kitu ama una kitu, ukiwa mtoto yake anampenda na anamweka mahali pamoja na you are all equal.
The family says she picked white as color theme of her outfit of the day, a monochrome look of white from head to toe, insisting on full sleeves and an ankle-length dress. The family says this is a rare achievement.
Tumekuja siku ya leo kusherehekea miaka 117 ya Margaret Kagondo Kago, famously known as MKK. Ni mama mzee ambaye ametulea. Yeye ndio mkubwa kushida baba yangu, kwa hivyo ni shangazi yangu. Baba yangu aliaga mwaka wa 2017 akiwa na miaka 90. Na huyu dada yake akaendelea kuishi.
In church, many queued to congratulate her, some seeking her blessings, which she gladly gave it, as her tradition dictates, a polite spit to their hands. Soon, it was time to indulge in fresh delicacies.
Tumekuja mahali hapa tukate keki kwa sababu tunajua ya kwamba afadhali upe mzazi yako maua akiwa hai kuliko ungoje akufe ndio munulie saduku ya 30,000.
Kufikisha miaka 117 sio kitu rahisi, kwa sababu tunashukuru Mungu sana. Ndiposa tukakuwa na sherehe huko kwa kanisa, tukakuwa na misa, na sasa tuko hapa tunasherehekea, tunataka kukata keki tusherehekee pamoja.
At 117 years old, Kagondo's eyesight remains perfect, her memory intact, and her hearing still evidently clear. Only her gait giving away the accumulation of time in her bones. She is blessed with 7 children, the firstborn of whom died at age 90, while her eldest grandchild is 65. I am happy today, and I want to thank God so much. Lois Ongwe, NTV.
What a heartfelt story. And don't forget to celebrate and give your loved ones their flowers, especially during this festive season, so that you don't end up wishing you did so while they were still with you. Now, the Kaptue Maasai clan, predominant in the metro part of Kajiado East Sub-County, have initiated a new age set in readiness for boy circumcision. This is a move aimed at sustaining the tradition after shelving the age set culture for decades. As NTV's Zachary Nyakweba reports, this new age set has also been guided on the contemporary issue affecting society.
In the heart of Kajiado East Sub-County, the Kaptue Maasai community is embracing the rhythm of their heritage. A new age group known as Imeltaroni Lekedianye has been initiated. This ancient tradition marks the beginning of a cultural journey for boys aged 5 to 18 years. Elders are also using this unique opportunity to sensitize young boys on education, combating societal vices like early marriage, gender-based violence, and female genital mutilation.
Mila ni jambo la maana sana. Hata Waswahili walisema mwacha mila ni mtumwa. Wakati wa holiday hii ya Disemba, tunataka tuwafunze kimila, baadaye waende shule. Hatutaki mila ambaye inawatoa vijana kwa shule.
This is a cultural revival ceremony rich in symbolism. Known as Kimpata or Imiltaroni Lekedianye, which begins with the men of the community serenading a specially chosen bull with the traditional Maasai songs. The act of soothing the bull and covering its mouth represents peace and respect values these young boys are encouraged to uphold throughout their lives. As the bull roasts over an open fire, the boys gather to share the meat with the elders.
Kwa Kimasai tunaanza na kitu inaitwa orgecheng. Hii ambayo imechinjwa hapa. Na ndio tunasema olobolosi orgecheng sababu imechinjwa awalos.
Hiyo ndume ni yao, si yetu. Hao ndio watakula, hao ndio wanatengenezewa. Na kwa kimila ya Kimasai, hiyo ndume ni ya Ermetaroni, age made Ermetaroni,
A special prayer led by the elders blesses the boys and entrusts them to a newly appointed 13-year-old chief to guide them on their journey.
Nimechaguliwa kama mkubwa wa rika. Nimejifunza kuwa mkubwa wa rika ni unganisha, nitakuwa nasaidia watu.
The Maasai community has long been celebrated for its vibrant traditions. From its iconic red attire to its energetic dances. Today, this legacy continues as the boys prepare for circumcision. Zachary Nyakweba, NTV, Nairobi.
Parents have been advised to monitor the content their children consume, more so by use of electronic gadgets during these long holidays. Speaking during the launch of a play dictionary at the Rofin International School, morality watchdog Ezekiel Mutua said that content consumed by minors directly correlates to their behavior, and as such, parents must be mindful of their online activity. Parents have also appreciated the move by the school to engage learners in extracurricular activities as a way to keep them constructively engaged. During the event, parents were also urged to spend more time with their children during this festive season.
This is the time when parents need to be vulnerable with their children. We don't need to play holier than thou. We just need to show them that we were also young. We also made mistakes. We were also growing up and we fell and we rose up. And if we can sit with our children and they realize even when they make mistakes, they're still human beings and they're loved.
Let's just try to nurture them well. Let's try and inculcate the best values for them, values that are able to support them, whether you are here today or not here today. Masses that we've seen today, they're actually meant to nurture their talents.
Also, we just want to wish parents a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And let's make sure that our kids are well protected while with them at home.
That story on minding your children and what they watch takes us on a short break here on NTV at 1. But don't go too far. We have much more lined up for you on the other side.
I'll have the usual on the rocks, double.
Your profile says you don't drink.
Oh, and I missed out on the silky refreshing test?
For real? For real. Well, in that case, I'll have whatever he's having.
I drink responsibly. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Del.
Del who?
Del Monte.
Real, recognize real. No added sugar, no preservatives. 100% real fruit.
Tarehe 4
on 4th
hadi tarehe 15
up to 15th of December
mwezi wa 12. Mungu anatupa nguvu kupitia kwa damu na mwili wa mwanawe.
Any two 80-gram Cadbury Dairy Milk Packs ama Cadbury Drinking Chocolate. Visit Cadbury.Africa or andike someone special your heartfelt message ya kumshow thanks. T's and C's apply. Cadbury, there's a glass and a half in everyone.
International Women's Day 2024. Pomp, glamour, empowerment. In 2025, we are leveling up. Join us for an even bigger and unforgettable experience. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the broadcast. My name is Helen Aura and you're watching NTV at 1. The Nigerian Czech Council of Ameru Elders has distanced itself from the looming Gemma political party that aims to rally the region behind one political force ahead of 2027 general election. Led by their chairman, Adrian Ariaru, the elders say forming a regional political party will lead to the division among communities. The elders add that they will continue supporting the current government from the national up to county levels. They have urged Gemma leaders not to allow politicians to misguide them, asking the planners to join the existing political parties in the country.
Na Ngema ilikuwa wakati wa mkoloni na ndio iliundwa na babu zetu kama Mzee Jomo Kenyatta na wale wengine, lakini haikuwa chama cha siasa, ilikuwa kitu ya kutuleta pamoja kama mandugu, na wale wanataka kuifanya iwe chama cha siasa waache.
We are supporting the government from national level to the county level. Kama kuna statement ambayo inatakikana itolewe, lazima itolewe hapa.
The government insists it will carry on with the planned nationwide animal vaccination exercise next year, despite opposition from quarters, including opposition politicians. During the Kenya Veterinary Association Gala dinner, the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development asserted that Kenya cannot export its livestock products currently due to the inability to meet the required vaccination standards. The ministry says this is among measures put in place to increase livestock production and contribution to the economy from 12 to 20% of the gross domestic product.
The team that we put in place together with the existing secretariat, every person, every veterinarian, every paraveterinarian, whether in government, private sector, will get to understand their role in the whole program, and nobody will be left behind, because vaccinating over 70 million animals is not a small feat. It will require a lot of mobilization, and everybody has all hands have to come on deck, as I said earlier.
Hii dawa yenye italetwa itatengenezwa hapa nchini na madaktari wetu ndio watakuwa wanafanya hiyo chanjo. Na kama chairman ya Kenya Veterinary Board, ni sisi ndio tunasimamia madaktari wote, na tunajua ile dawa italetwa itakuwa ya muhimu kwa wanyama wetu, na kwa hivyo tungehimiza ya kwamba mtuunge mkono, na saa zile madaktari wanakuja mjue ni madaktari wote wameajiriwa na Kenya Veterinary Board.
The government is ramping up supports and efforts to harness the power of young agripreneurs to drive transformation in the agricultural sector. This is according to the Cabinet Secretary Andrew Karanja, who says the aim is to tackle youth unemployment and boost productivity in rural areas. Speaking at the commissioning of 140 young agripreneurs in Embu, CS Karanja emphasized the critical need for this initiative to create immediate job opportunities for youth while strengthening local agriculture. These young professionals will work directly with farmers, providing vital extension services to improve productivity and promote sustainable farming practices. This initiative is part of a larger government strategy to position agribusiness as a cornerstone of the youth empowerment and economic development. Local leaders are also committed to fast-tracking training these agripreneurs, ensuring they can make an immediate impact on the agricultural output.
We will plan a good program for all of them across the county, and I'm sure with these people, we will revolutionize agriculture in Embu County.
Kwa kila ward hapa takuwa na watu 7. Hawa ni 140, watakuwa na watu 7 kwa kila ward. Na ni Kenya mzima. Hii ni mpango ambao tumeanzisha ili tukijumuisha na counties, tuimarishe mambo ya huduma kwa wakulima.
Borders now, West African nation Ghana has voted in a presidential and parliamentary election amid hopes for an economic revival after the worst financial crisis in a generation. President Nana Akufo-Addo is stepping down next month after serving 2 terms as head of the world's second-largest cocoa producer and a significant gold miner. 12 candidates are vying to succeed him, but the race is seen as primarily between Vice President Mahamudu Bawumia, chosen successor of Akufo-Addo's new patriotic party NPP, and former President John Dramani of the National Democratic Congress NDC. Jubilant NDC supporters took to the streets of Accra in historic Jamestown, chanting, banging pans and blaring horns after results from their polling stations showed the party in a comfortable lead.
29.
From Ghana, now we hand over to my colleague Elijah Oko, who will take us through the sports news. Elijah, take over.
Well, thank you very much for staying tuned and welcome along to your home of sports. My name is Elijah Ogo. Let's start off with the FKF elections. And newly elected Football Kenya Federation President Hussein Mohamed now says he will fight for the enactment of a legislation to fight match fixing. Several players, match officials and coaches have been accused of match fixing, and Hussein revealed that he will deal with the accused accordingly.
As a result of many factors, and it will take us an entire evening if we were to go into that. But I want to assure you that we need to put in the systems, the right systems. We need to remunerate referees well. We need to do capacity building for referees. There's a lot we need to do to curb that vice. And for that to happen, the entire team must work in tandem. We will need to have new legislation that will deal with match fixing. We'll need to train investigators on matters of match fixing. So there's a lot of work to be done if we are to tackle that particular vice.
And on to some sad news. West Ham United forward Mikel Antonio is conscious and in a stable condition in hospital after he was involved in a road traffic accident on Saturday. A statement by the club says West Ham United can confirm that Mikel Antonio is in a stable condition following a road traffic accident this afternoon in the Essex area. The club has asked that the 34-year-old Jamaican international's privacy be respected, and there will be no further comment, but they will issue a further update in due course. Antonio has been at West Ham since 2015 and has featured in every league game for the club this season. West Ham's next fixture is a home game with Wolverhampton Wanderers on Monday. And still in the EPL, Manchester United suffered their second successive loss in a week in the Premier League after Nottingham Forest beat the Red Devils 3-2 at Old Trafford. It took Forest only 90 seconds to get on the score sheet thanks to Nikola Milenkovic, but Rasmus Højlund restored parity in the 18th minute. In the second half, Forest scored 2 goals in... And in golf, Wilson Redding beat a field of 103 golfers at the par 72V Pingo Ridge Golf Course to claim the overall title in the Kilifi International Investment Conference Golf Tournament on Saturday. Wilson, playing off handicap 31, collected 42 points to elbow Maureen Obunga and Edwin Kipto into second and third places with 40 and 38 points respectively. It was a rough course for Kenya's top golfer and home favourite Naomi Wafula, who settled for 8th place with 37 points. The golf tournament is a testament of Kilifi County's potential as a premier destination for sports enthusiasts, with a focus on driving success among local athletes.
Some of the activities that actually bring people to Kilifi, to ensure that we bring people to Kilifi to enjoy our tourism facilities and tourist sites that Kilifi has?
Kilifi is a prime for sports tourism. Yeah, we have the beachfront where we're looking to have beach games. We've had twice with the National Olympic Committee games there. We've had beach games there. We have the Kilifi Triathlon, which is proving to be an international event because judging from the interest that it is bringing.
And in the NBA, Ja Morant had 32 points, 9 assists, and 9 rebounds. And the Memphis Grizzlies snapped a 10-game losing streak in Boston with a 127-121 win over the Celtics on Saturday night. Jaren Jackson Jr. added 27 points and 9 rebounds for Memphis, which won TD Garden for the first time since November 27, 2013. The Grizzlies have won 8 of their last 9. Drew Holiday had 23 points for the Celtics, who went 18 for 60 from the three-point line. Jaylen Brown and Peyton Pritchard each finished with 22 points. The Celtics erased a 14-point third-quarter deficit, taking a 97-94 lead early in the fourth. Memphis rallied and led 117-115 with less than 4 minutes to play. The Grizzlies then scored 7 straight to get it back up to 124-115 and were able to close it out.
Celtics haven't led all night. Until now.
Well, that's all we had for you. Now, let me hand you over to Helen Aura.
Thank you so much, Elijah Oko, and thank you for keeping me company here on NTV at 1. But don't go too far. Keep tabs on our subsequent bulletin, that is NTV 7 p.m. bulletin and 9 p.m. bulletin. And stay tuned as well, as our team is in Kilifi County for the Kilifi Investment Conference. And if you're an interested or a stakeholder, I know much awaits you there. My name is Helen Aura. It's been a pleasure. Do enjoy the rest of your Sunday and see you next Sunday.
This is NTV.
Make the day taste better with a new street rice pasua for only 490 shillings.
Most bankable host Brian Aselli.
And we bring you the Morning Fix. Shimano is in the building as promised.
Yes.
Every day is a different discussion on something you care about.
And we want to hear from you. That's why we want to hear your say.
So we've got star-studded guests, the people you want to hear from, the people you want to connect with, and
know the celebrities will be in studio. We'd like you to pick up that phone and have a chat with them.
Without that project, I would not have done anything else that I've done before, because it was kind of like...
Then, yeah, when I was coming to Kenya now on my route of, you know, wanting to like make music.
But Friday, guys.
Friday is where we have all the fun. There is mad fun with
Aseli, DJ E, good vibes, great conversation, artists from all over the continent and more. So keep it 96.3
Nation FM.
So mimi nimepita kwenye matatizo makubwa ambapo nimefanya operations zaidi ya 4 kwa ajili ya matatizo ya afya uzazi. Lakini still niko kazini na endelea kufanya kazi yangu vizuri. Naitwa Zora Malisa, ni managing editor wa Online Mwananchi Communications Limited. Mimi ni miongoni mwa waandishi walioshinda tuzo ya EJAT, simulizi aliyochoma sindano 38 tumboni akisaka mtoto kwa miaka 13, ambao ndio nilifanya nishinde tuzo ya EJAT kama mshindi wa kwanza, lakini pia nimeshinda tuzo ya EJAT kwenye upande wa masuala ya afya ya uzazi kama mshindi wa pili kwenye story inasema safari ngumu ya kutafuta mtoto kwa upandikizaji. Ukiangalia hizi story zote mbili ni story ambazo kwanza zinamlenga muhusika mwenyewe. Mimi ndo muhusika nilofanya hizi story na ndo story ambazo zinanilenga mimi mwenyewe. Kwa nimeandika kitu ambacho nakiishi, nimeandika kitu ambacho na experience, nimeandika kitu ambacho nafahamu maumivu yake ya kutafuta mtoto, nafahamu namna ambavyo jamii inamuona mwanamke ambaye ameingia kwenye ndoa amekaa tu mwaka bila kupata mtoto. Kupata ile tuzo ilikuwa kwangu ni furaha zaidi kwa sababu tu na wafanya wanawake wengine waone kwamba wanatakiwa waendelee kuishi, yani maisha yake ni muhimu zaidi. Kwa hataki kujiumiza sana kwa sababu ya kukosa mtoto, haitaki kutumia hadi yake ya mwisho sana kwa sababu ya kukosa mtoto. Kwa kwangu ilikuwa furaha kubwa kwa sababu tu ya kuona tunaanza kupata mabadiliko kwenye jamii yetu. Tunaanza kuzungumzia issue ya mwanamke kukosa mtoto na namna gani nyingine ya kutafuta nafasi nyingine mpya, fursa ya kuweza kumsaidia mwanamke aweze kupata mtoto.
NTV, turning on your world.
Your friend?
Yeah.
Okay, what's her name or his name?
Her name, his name is, he called Estangeri.
Estangeri. Let me ask you now, does your teacher teach you about planting trees on that environmental subject?
Yeah.
What does she teach you about trees? You can stop here. What does she teach you about trees?
She teaches me, she said,
that you should plant trees, right?
yeah, and water them.
And water them. Let me fix this for you. Okay. What are the benefits of planting trees? Do you know? What are the benefits? Why do we plant trees?
So that we can have shade, fresh air, and rain.
And rain.
And food.
Fantastic. Clap for yourself. Hey. Awesome. Do you know also that when you plant trees, the animals, the birds get somewhere to stay? Hey, you build a habitat for them. That's amazing, right?
Yeah.
So today we will plant a tree, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know have you ever planted a tree?
Yeah.
How many trees have you planted so far?
So far, I have planted 100 trees.
Wow.
Plus this one.
Plus this one. So this will be the 101.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, we'll get to planting trees. To plant this tree. So this is a seedling. You see this? Yes. So we'll put it there and then tuifunike. No. Do you know the name of this tree?
No.
It's called a lemon cypress tree.
Yeah.
Yes. It takes close to like 7 years to become big. And then now we can have the shade. And then now the animals, the birds can come and build a habitat there.
They can have fresh air.
Exactly. Right?
Yeah.
Good. Let's get to planting it. Let me bring it. Okay. Yeah. Let me put it down slowly. Let me drop it down for you. Slowly. Right? Good. Kyla has planted over like this. It's 100 trees. Now, ujai plant hata moja. 100 trees. Noko how old?
6.
Imagine, guys. That's a big challenge. Plant trees for your environment. She already knows why she's planting trees. She's been told how to go about it. That's amazing. That's a challenge to you. Because if we plant trees, we've got to protect our environment, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So tell them, plant trees.
Yeah.
Tell them over there, plant trees.
Plant trees.
Yeah, plant many trees. You planted 100, right?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. That's like water. Process gani mebaki?
Water.
Watering. Come to water. Module kwanza hii tuweke hii sand hii na mimi na soil yote.
Can choose if you want a tree, you can either.
Haya, kuja hii side ndio. So guys, this is the 101 tree. Going 1, 2, yay! guy, this tree, 10 years from now, it will be a big tree. It will be a big tree, and the benefits, hata labda tutakuwa hapa, hata labda Kaila atakuwa hapa, sindio? But the benefits will be felt by all people, everyone staying here, all our learners, wote wako hapa, feel these benefits. Why? Because someone took their time to plant trees. 100 trees and counting. How many trees have you counted? Have you planted? Make it a challenge. Plant many trees and let's support you, right? Exactly. 10 years from now it will be big trees. Ndio? Sasa nataka nafikiria, si unaweza panda mti ingine? Hata mpande na principal. Kuja tu tukapanda.
Our main objective is to curb global warming.
Okay.
Because when you talk about climate change, you're talking about global warming and how the climate is changing and affecting the globe. Trees,
come to this side.
Trees help to reduce the concentration of carbon dioxide.
Okay.
And when we have a lot of concentration of carbon dioxide, then the ecosystem doesn't go well. Plants, animals, human beings, we have trouble.
Yes.
And desertification comes in. But when we have trees, trees are going to control the concentration of carbon dioxide, and that is going to make it easier for each and everybody.
Okay.
We are doing it at our small level with Adele here, who has already planted 100. I think I've also planted like 500 or something like that.
Awesome.
And
we can be planting it, yeah?
At our small level, we do it. If everybody can plant at least one tree. In Kenya, if we say that one person plants a tree, we shall have how many millions of trees? Over 40,000?
Yeah.
40 million trees? Yes.
Why should we plant trees? Can someone tell me?
In CBC, we have topics that deal with conservation, and children are taught quite from an early age how to conserve the environment, how to understand the benefits of conservation, to understand the benefits of trees at a very early age. At school here, other than teaching them in class, we have clubs and we have activities of tree planting. I just told you that last week we planted about 100 trees within the school as part of the activity. Tree planting.
Okay.
So
that is awesome.
That is going on. It's a process that is going on.
Okay.
I'll have the usual on the rocks, double.
I'll have whatever he's having.
Real recognize real. No added sugar, no preservatives. 100% real fruit.
The truth is not governed. The truth governs our beliefs, our faith, the trust we give, the democracy we seek. When held back, it always breaks free. Seek the truth. Set yourself free. Subscribe to read online at epaper.nation.africa. Daily Nation, the truth unfiltered.
You know, Sharia-compliant financing offers an alternative form of financing that can be utilized across the board. But when you look at tokenization of real assets, this is where we see the future in terms of funds and collective investment schemes going over the next few decades. Global assets within the IF industry are more than $5 trillion. The sovereign needs to diversify its income streams. You know, some of them have been exhausted.
Having been appointed Manchester United's new head coach earlier this month, Ruben Amorim has officially started work at Old Trafford. Inking a contract until the summer of 2027, the Portuguese will need every bit of that time to turn things around in the red half of Manchester. And the enormity of Amorim's task was evident in his first game in charge of the Red Devils, as reality set in.
Hakuna ngori tawai waangukia.
This project has been designed by the best brains in the country.
Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology, MUST, invites graduates of the 2023-2024 academic year, as well as members of the public, to the 21st graduation ceremony, which will take place on Wednesday, 11th December 2024, at the MUST Graduation Square, Kakamega, from 9 a.m. The theme of this year's ceremony is Focusing on Excellence and Competency. Catch the event live on NTV and on our social media platforms.
Sasa ungekuwa poke kama mchawi? Mimi unaniita mchawi?
Yes.
Wewe utanitambua leo.
Excuse me. Haya, ondoka. Nenda.
Unataka kuongea? Aya, ongea. Sivyo ndo nataka, si uongee. Ongea.
Sio usijifanye kama apige magoti hapa. Sikukanya mimi.
Umeona Alisha?
Alisha ni nani?
Unajua kama yuko na Tony?
Ai.
Niambie Alisha yuko wapi? Yuko wapi?
Q, in association with Nivea Nourishing Cocoa Body Lotion. Show off your best skin with Nivea Nourishing Cocoa Body Lotion with 5-in-1 complete care. The deeply nourishing formula prevents your skin from drying with precious cocoa butter and deep moisture for smooth and healthy.
Good. So you have trees all over. All these trees, people have taken time to plant them. You planted them over time.
If you just look around, you'll see that there are seedlings all over the place. We planted. If you go around the school, we have tried to make it green because we understand that we do it at our small level. And if everybody can take time, even just to plant one tree, the effect will be awesome.
Good. Awesome. Talk to the principals probably who really they don't really buy the idea, or probably they don't think it's a viable thing to go about, planting trees every time, and the passion that you have for planting trees.
For my fellow principals, we have the space within the schools. Let us utilize those spaces. Let's plant trees along the hedges of our schools. Other than being live hedges for beauty of the school, they'll also be functional in reducing the concentration of carbon dioxide, which will be good for the ecosystem.
Fantastic. Yeah, good. And so how do you think climate change imeaffectaje Eldoret in that ndio tufike mahali tuseme we need to plant more trees? How has a county been affected?
Uasin Gishu County is an agricultural county, and with climate change everything is affected. The rains come at the wrong time or they come more than expected. So it is a whole system where the farmers will have problems because their produce will not be to the levels they want. And of course, it also affects our day-to-day life. And when the farmers don't get their produce well, it affects people in town. We want to make a city that means we are going to even invite more people. More people will be coming to the city. And they need to be fed.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true.
And once the farmers don't produce enough, there'll be shortage of food.
That's true.
And hata kazi itapungua. So there's a ripple effect in almost every sector. Yes.
That's good, the fact that you're also instilling such knowledge to the young ones.
And the Bible says we teach them early, and when they grow up, they'll not divert.
That's true. Fantastic. We are at 100 and Kayla, you at 100 and?
She's at 102.
102, right? Good stuff. So 10 years from now, this tree, they don't know what I mean, and the benefits will be able to satisfy very many people at it. Yeah. Yes. It's okay. Come Kayla, tujamaliza. So anaitwa teacher? So I would like to ask you, wewe umepanda miti?
Yes, nimepanda miti mingi sana. Sana.
Unafaa kupata namba. Kaila akona namba. Yeah. She's at 102.
Wow.
Yeah. According to you, do you know what climate change is?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Yeah, climate change is a long-term shift. The climate, the weather change, changing on weather patterns. And we have experienced that in our country.
Yeah.
And we have a club in Potter's House where we are really educating and bringing the learners to understand what climate change is.
Yeah.
And therefore, we've been taking part in tree planting just as a way of trying to curb the climate change.
Yeah. And how do you think tunakuwa affected? Yeah, mostly at Eldoret or just all over. How do you think it's affecting us?
Especially in Eldoret, where we know that people here are farmers, where we actually need to know about the weather patterns. And of late, we are unable to predict the weather patterns because of the climate change.
Yeah.
So we are doing our best to ensure that we plant a lot of trees so that at least we go back to our old days where we could tell when we expected rains and where we expected dry spells. Yeah.
Ah, good. That is awesome. Ningekuuliza what you're doing kwa kiwango yako kuweza kusaidia, but this is what you're doing.
Yeah, we are planting trees.
You're planting trees.
Yes,
fantastic. I like it. So Kaila, thank you very much. And as you do, teacher, utatuacha na hatujamalizana na Kaila. Ndio, tuende kuongea more. Sasa tusha plant miti, na tushawaambia watusaidie kuplant miti huko nyumbani, si ndio? So tunakuuliza vitu zingine kando. Do you have a hobby? What's your hobby?
My hobbies are dancing, modeling, acting, and swimming.
Wow. You can dance? Yeah. Tuna dance hapa. Mulama si to dance? To dance nini gani unifunze ku dance? Tani tunafunza ku dance which style? Ndio? Tani tunafunza ku dance which one?
We need a song.
We need a song.
Yeah.
We need a song. Nani akona song atatuimbia to dance? Ama hata tuta dance baadaye. So you're saying what else do you do apart from dancing? You model. You're saying you model. What do you model?
For the animals and birds is really affected. So you will find animals that are supposed to be in the wild are just roaming around. Like the previous few months we had floods. So like it is because of climate change you're experiencing these things which were not there way back. Yeah.
Good. Let's talk about Kaila. Yeah. When did this start with Kaila?
Kaila started planting trees when she was almost 3 years old. Yeah, she has planted a lot of trees. At the moment, she has planted 100+ trees. Yeah.
That's nice. How have you helped nurture this? I mean,
I've given her all the support she needs. Anytime she needs to plant trees, I'll support her, I'll buy the trees. I'll make sure she goes, check on them, waters them. And she's also teaching other kids the importance of planting trees. She has a group back in the village where they just plant trees together. They discuss about the importance of trees at that age. And I think it is a good thing. She's mentoring other kids also.
Yeah. Where would you want Kaila to be probably in the next 5 years or so?
Oh God, I really want to see her soaring greater heights. I want to see her being the leading, she should be just in the environmental space, because you understand what we are facing now as a country and worldwide about the climate change and everything. I want her to be a champion in environmental conservation.
As her mother, how does that make you feel? How does you seeing this, you seeing her trying to protect the environment, how does it make you feel as a mother?
I'm very proud of my daughter. At a younger age, she has done something that I have not done. She has planted a lot of trees and she's conserving the environment. I feel so proud and I want to give her the necessary support. Yes.
Fantastic. So what is the next step from here? Now that she's already planted trees, 100 trees and that, and all that, where tunaenda wapi next?
Oh, I forgot to tell you this. Kaila is going to Thailand to represent Kenya.
Wow.
Yeah, it's because of our eco project, modeling talent and everything that she's going to represent our country in Thailand via Tiny Miss Kenya.
This school was started in 1976. So I think since 1976 we have been planting trees. We had the former President Moi. So he used to like monyonyoko wa udongo, so we plant trees. So we start. So we follow his footsteps, planting trees. So in this school we have several types of trees. We have the cedar, we have the bamboo. We have about 1,000 varieties of trees in this school.
We must keep our environment clean.
Yeah, I think it is very important to train the students to know the importance of trees. Long time ago, when we were young, we used the trees in this region. There were many trees, and then we used to get a lot of rain. So I think nowadays there is no rain because people have cut a lot of trees.